The day my sister abandoned her twins, she left a half-empty coffee mug on my granite countertop. 10 years later, that ring stain is still there, a permanent reminder of how one morning changed everything. I'm Jennifer, and back then, I was living the dream as the youngest executive at Sterling and Ross, a corporate law firm in Manhattan. Corner office, designer wardrobe, dating a different investment banker every month. Then Jillian showed up at my door, 8 months pregnant, mascara streaking down her face. He left me, she sobbed, collapsing into my arms. I have nowhere else to go. I did what sisters do. I gave her my guest room, bought a crib, and helped her prepare for the twins. Nathan and Lily arrived 6 weeks later, perfect and tiny. I'd never seen Jillian so happy. But happiness, for my sister, was always temporary. I met someone, Jillian announced 3 months later, bouncing around my kitchen while I heated bottles. His name's Marcus. He's taking me to Paris. I nearly dropped the formula. What about the babies? She waved her hand dismissively. Just for a few weeks, Jen. You're so good with them anyway. A few weeks turned into months. Her calls became shorter, less frequent. Paris became Rome, then Barcelona. Marcus became Stefan, then Antoine. I can't believe you're doing this, I said, during one of our rare video calls. They're your children. They're fine with you, she replied, sipping champagne on some yacht. You always wanted kids anyway, right? I didn't respond. What could I say? That I was sleeping 3 hours a night, juggling conference calls while changing diapers. That I'd turned down a partnership track to work flexible hours. The twins grew. First steps, first words, first days of school. Every milestone marked with a photo sent to an increasingly distant mother. My boss grew less understanding. Jennifer, we need someone more committed. I made my choice. The twins needed stability more than I needed that corner office. Years passed. I built a life around school runs and soccer practice, piano lessons, and parent-teacher conferences. Nathan developed my love for debate, while Lily inherited my determination. They became my world. Aunt Jen, Lily asked one night when she was 8, why doesn't Mom want us? I pulled her close, heartbreaking. Sometimes people aren't ready to be parents, but I want you. I'll always want you. Nathan joined our hug. We want you too. Today is their 10th birthday. The house is decorated with balloons and streamers, and I'm putting final touches on their cake. Chocolate for Nathan, vanilla for Lily, swirled together just like them. Is Mom coming? Nathan asks, helping me with the candles. She didn't RSVP, buddy. Lily adjusts her party dress. Good. We like it better when it's just us anyway. The doorbell rings. Probably Oakley, my old colleague, who's remained a close friend. He's bringing his famous 7-layer dip. But when I open the door, my heart stops. There stands Jillian, looking like she stepped off a magazine cover. Designer everything, perfect blowout, expensive perfume wafting through my doorway. Behind her, a cameraman adjusts his equipment. Surprise, she air kisses my cheek. I've missed my babies so much. The twins freeze in the hallway, their faces pale. What's with the camera? I ask, blocking the entrance. Jillian's smile doesn't reach her eyes. Oh, just documenting this special reunion. And speaking of special, she hands me an envelope. You won't be needed anymore, sis. I'm taking them back. The envelope contains custody papers. My hands shake as I read them, the words blurring together. You can't just, I'm their mother, she interrupts, pushing past me. And it's time they came home to their real family. Behind her, the cameraman starts rolling. The birthday party turned into a circus. Jillian worked the room like a politician, hugging other parents, cooing over the decorations I'd spent weeks perfecting, all while her cameraman captured every moment. Oh, you still use paper plates, she said loudly, picking up a Disney-themed plate. How quaint. I bit my tongue and continued serving cake. The kids huddled near the snack table, whispering to each other and shooting worried glances my way. Jen. Oakley appeared at my elbow, his voice low. We need to talk, now. He pulled me into the kitchen, away from Jillian's performance. That man she's talking to? He nodded toward a silver-haired gentleman in an expensive suit. That's Charles Elliott. He's the most aggressive custody attorney in the state, known for playing dirty. My stomach dropped. How do you know him? Opposed him twice when I was in family law. Lost both times. He specializes in reunification cases. Through the kitchen door, I could hear Jillian's voice rising. And the most amazing private academy in Los Angeles. All the celebrity children go there. Los Angeles, I whispered. She can't just watch me, Jillian announced, suddenly appearing in the doorway. The paperwork's already filed. The twins start school next month. You haven't even asked them what they want. She laughed, the sound sharp and artificial. They're children, Jen. They don't make decisions. Her eyes narrowed. And let's be honest, you're just their aunt. Playing mommy was fun, but it's time to give them back. Aunt Jen, Lily's small voice came from behind us. Can we open presents now? Jillian spun around. Camera-ready smile back in place. Of course, sweetie. Everyone gather round. The living room became a stage. Jillian positioned herself between the twins on the couch, her arms draped possessively around their shoulders. They looked like hostages. This one's from me, she trilled, handing them each an identical box. Inside were matching iPads. Latest model, Jillian announced to the room. For FaceTiming their new friends in LA. The other parents murmured appreciatively. I saw Mrs. Peterson, Lily's best friend, Audrey's mom, giving me a sympathetic look. Here's mine, I said quietly, passing over 2 carefully wrapped packages. Nathan opened his first, a vintage debate handbook I'd found at a specialty bookstore, with notes from famous cases in the margins. His eyes lit up. Lily's was a handmade scrapbook, filled with photos of our life together. Ballet recitals, science fairs, lazy Sunday mornings making pancakes. How sweet, Jillian said, her tone suggesting anything but. Though they'll need more practical things for their new life. The party dragged on. Parents started leaving, making awkward goodbyes. Jillian's cameraman finally packed up his equipment. I'm staying at the Four Seasons, Jillian announced. We'll start transition visits tomorrow. Charles will be in touch about the schedule. After she left, I collapsed onto the couch, surrounded by wrapping paper and deflated balloons. The twins immediately climbed up beside me, one on each side. We don't want to go, Nathan said firmly. She can't make us, Lily added. We found something on her laptop last week when she visited. Something bad. I sat up straighter. What do you mean? They exchanged looks. She left it open when she went to the bathroom, Nathan explained. There were emails about a TV show. Reformed Mom Returns. They're going to film us moving to LA. But that's not the worst part, Lily whispered. She said we're her ticket back to relevance. And there were other emails too, about money and contracts. A knock at the door interrupted us. Oakley stood there, holding his phone. You need to see this, he said grimly. Jillian just posted on Instagram. She's announcing her journey to reunite her family, complete with sponsorship deals. I pulled the twins closer. We're not letting that happen. No, Nathan said, his young face determined. We're not, and we have a plan. Show me everything, I said, sitting at the kitchen table with Nathan's laptop open in front of us. The twins had somehow managed to access Jillian's cloud storage, using an old password she'd never changed. Look at this first, Lily said, clicking on a video file. Jillian's face filled the screen, speaking to someone off camera. The network loves the concept, she was saying. Prodigal mother returns, rebuilds relationship with her estranged children. We're talking 6 episodes minimum, plus endorsement deals. What about their current situation? A male voice asked. My sister, Jillian laughed. She'll cave. She always does. Besides, she's not their real mother. No judge will choose an aunt over biological parent rights. Nathan clicked another file. This is from last month. An email chain appeared. RE, custody strategy. Dear Ms. Lewis, as discussed, Establishing residency in California is crucial for the jurisdiction change. The property rental agreement you've provided should suffice for court documentation, though I recommend minimal paper trail regarding the reality show until after proceedings. Charles Elliott. She's not even planning to live there, Lily said. She told her friend on the phone, it's just for show. My legal training kicked in. That's fraud. There's more, Nathan continued. She's already signed contracts with sponsors, baby products, parenting apps, clothing lines. They're all counting on us moving to LA. A notification popped up on my phone. A court summons. My hands shook as I read it. She's requesting an emergency hearing, I said. Claims I'm alienating you from her? But that's not true, Lily protested. She's the one who left. Oakley, who'd been quietly taking notes, spoke up. We need to be strategic about this. The video clips and emails are good, but they're not enough. Judges see bitter custody battles all the time. What if, Nathan hesitated, what if we make our own video? Show everyone who Mom really is. Lily's eyes lit up. We could use her own words against her, like that reality show pitch where she calls us her meal ticket. And we could show all the birthdays she missed, Nathan added. All the times Aunt Jen was there instead. I looked at their determined faces, feeling a mix of pride and worry. Are you sure about this? She's still your mother. No, Lily said firmly. You're our mother. She's just Jillian. My friend Audrey's really good at video editing, Nathan said. Her mom bought her this fancy software for her birthday. We could make it look professional. Oakley leaned forward. If we do this, we need to be careful. Nothing edited out of context. Nothing that could backfire in court. We'll need recent footage too, I realized. Something that proves she's lying about the California move. Already handled, Lily grinned, pulling out her phone. She played a video of Jillian at the party, speaking to one of the mothers. Oh, the LA thing. Just for show, darling. Once I have custody, we'll be living in New York. Much better for my brand. My jaw dropped. When did you record that? While she was bragging about the private school, Nathan said. We knew she'd slip up eventually. A new email notification lit up my screen from Jillian's lawyer, demanding a meeting tomorrow to discuss transition arrangements. They're moving fast, Oakley observed. They want to overwhelm you, make you feel powerless. I'm not powerless, I said, straightening my spine. And neither are the kids. So we're doing this, Lily asked. The video? I looked at their hopeful faces, remembering every midnight fever, every scraped knee, every proud moment over the past 10 years. This wasn't just about custody anymore. This was about truth. Yes, I decided, but we do it right. No lies, no manipulation, just the truth. Every painful, honest bit of it. Like karma, Nathan said, thoughtfully, using her own words to show who she really is. Exactly. I pulled them both into a hug. Now, let's call Audrey and get to work. We've got a story to tell. As the kids ran off to get their equipment, Oakley touched my arm. You know this could get ugly. It already is, I replied. But they deserve better than being props in their mother's comeback story. The courthouse loomed over us, like a fortress. Nathan gripped my left hand, Lily my right, as we climbed the steps to meet Jillian and her legal team. Remember, I whispered, let me do the talking. Inside, Jillian sat with her lawyer, Charles, and another woman she introduced as Valentina. My sister wore a conservative navy dress, her usual glamour toned down to appear more maternal. The children should wait outside, Charles suggested, his voice oily smooth. No, Nathan said firmly. We want to stay. Judge Wilson, a stern-faced woman in her 60s, entered the chamber. I understand this is a preliminary hearing regarding custody modification. Yes, Your Honor, Charles stood. My client, the children's biological mother, is seeking to restore her parental rights and restore, I couldn't help interrupting. She abandoned them. Ms. Lewis made the difficult decision to temporarily place her children with her sister while establishing financial stability. Charles continued. She's now prepared to resume her rightful role. Jillian dabbed at her eyes with a tissue. I've missed them so much. Then why didn't you call on their birthdays? Lily burst out. Or Christmas, or when I broke my arm. Order, Judge Wilson warned, though her eyes softened looking at the twins. Ms. Knight, your response? Valentina cleared her throat. While we acknowledge Ms. Jennifer's care of the children, she has no legal standing. Blood ties must take precedence. Blood ties. I stood up. I was there for every parent-teacher conference, every doctor's appointment, every nightmare. Where was their mother? Traveling, Jillian said smoothly. Building my business. Everything I did was for them. Like the reality show deal you signed. The words slipped out before I could stop them. The judge's head snapped up. Reality show. Irrelevant, Your Honor, Charles interjected quickly. My client's career choices don't impact her fitness as a mother. They do when she's treating her children like props, I countered. Jillian's mask slipped for a moment, her eyes flashing. You're just jealous, she hissed. Playing mother with my children because you couldn't have your own. The room fell silent. Even Charles looked uncomfortable. Miss Jillian, Judge Wilson said quietly. That comment suggests a concerning lack of appreciation for your sister's sacrifices. I apologize, Jillian backtracked quickly. I'm just emotional about reuniting my family. In California? I asked innocently. Or New York? Valentina frowned, turning to her client. You said the move to Los Angeles was definite. It is, Jillian said quickly. Of course it is. Judge Wilson studied the papers before her. I see you've already enrolled the children in a California school. Yes, Your Honor, the Beverly Hills Academy. Interesting, the judge mused. Because I have here an email from that same school denying any knowledge of their enrollment. Jillian's face paled. Valentina whispered something urgent in her ear. Your Honor, I spoke up. I have evidence that my sister's custody claim is part of a manufactured narrative for television, not a genuine desire to parent. Objection. Charles stood. This is speculation. Let her speak, Judge Wilson ordered. I pulled out my phone. May I play something? The judge nodded. I played Lily's recording from the party. Jillian's voice crystal clear. The LA thing, just for show, darling. Valentina's face tightened. She began gathering her papers. Furthermore, I continued, I have documentation showing my sister has committed residency fraud to manipulate jurisdiction. These are serious allegations, Judge Wilson said. Ms. Knight, do you wish to respond? Valentina stood. Your Honor, I request a brief recess to confer with my client. Granted, 20 minutes. The judge fixed Jillian with a stern look. I suggest you use this time to reconsider your position. In the hallway, I watched Valentina drag Jillian into a conference room, their heated whispers carrying through the door. Did we do good? Nathan asked quietly. I hugged them both. You did perfect, but it's not over yet. It will be, Lily said confidently. Wait until they see our video. Oakley appeared around the corner, right on schedule. Everything's ready for tomorrow, he whispered. The birthday party venue is booked, and the AV system is set up. I nodded, watching Jillian argue with her lawyers through the conference room's glass walls. Tomorrow, her carefully constructed facade would shatter completely. And I wouldn't feel guilty about it at all. Is everything synced properly? Nathan whispered, hunched over his laptop with Audrey in the party venue's back room. The large screen at the front of the hall waited innocently, ready for our special presentation. Triple-checked, Audrey replied, adjusting her glasses. The transition between the happy family clips and your mom's secret recordings is seamless. Lily paced nearby, occasionally peeking through the door. She's here, with cameras. Of course, she brought cameras. Jillian had marketed this as her redemption party, a chance to publicly showcase her maternal devotion. She'd even hired a professional events team to add to my simple decorations, turning the community center into something resembling a Hollywood premiere. Ready? I asked the kids. They nodded, faces serious. We'd spent hours discussing if this was the right thing to do, if publicly exposing their mother's lies was too cruel. But in the end, they'd convinced me. Sometimes the truth needed to be cruel to be kind. Places, everyone. Jillian's voice carried through the hall. The photographer needs family shots. We emerged from the back room. Jillian immediately grabbed the twins, positioning them like accessories. Her cream designer dress probably cost more than my monthly mortgage payment. "Jennifer, darling," she cooed, "join us. Show everyone how supportive you're being of our reunion." The photographer snapped away as Jillian narrated for her camera crew. "This is such a special moment. Family healing, bond strengthening. When do you want to play the video?" Oakley murmured in my ear. "After the cake," I replied. When everyone's seated, the party progressed like a carefully orchestrated show. Jillian held court, telling stories about her babies to the assembled guests, stories that belonged to me, moments she'd never witnessed. "Remember when Lily had her first ballet recital?" She gushed to Mrs. Peterson. "I was so proud." "That's interesting," Mrs. Peterson replied coldly. "Because I distinctly remember Jennifer being the one who sewed that costume all night." Finally, cake time arrived. The twins insisted Jillian sit front and center. "For the best view," they said innocently. Before we cut the cake, Nathan announced, taking the microphone, "We wanted to share something special." Lily joined him. "A video tribute to family, to show how we got here." Jillian beamed at the cameras. "My sweethearts, always so thoughtful." The lights dimmed. The screen flickered to life. It started gentle enough. Photos of the twins as babies, toddlers, growing children. But then the tone shifted. Suddenly there was Jillian, speaking to her producer. "The kids are perfect for this demographic. Viewers eat up family reunion stories." Cut to another clip. Jillian rolling her eyes during a phone call. "No, they're fine with their aunt. I need to focus on my brand right now." Email screenshots flashed across the screen. Production contracts, sponsorship deals, the fake California address. Then came the most damning part. A compilation of every missed birthday, every ignored call, every broken promise, interspersed with clips of real moments. Me teaching Nathan to ride a bike, helping Lily with science projects, holding them through thunderstorms. The room was dead silent, except for the video's audio. Jillian sat frozen, her perfect mask cracking. "Turn it off," she finally croaked. "We can't," Lily said clearly. "Truth hurts, doesn't it?" The final clip played, Jillian at a marketing meeting last week. "Once I have custody, we'll monetize everything. School updates, family vacations, sponsored content. These kids are my goldmine." The screen went black. Someone gasped. Mrs. Peterson was openly glaring at Jillian. "You little brats," Jillian hissed, launching to her feet. "How dare you humiliate me like this? How dare we?" Nathan stood his ground. "How dare you try to use us for your stupid show?" Valentina, who I hadn't even noticed was present, approached Jillian. "We need to talk. Now, this changes everything." "Nothing changes," Jillian shrieked. "They're my children." "No," Lily said quietly. "We're not. We're Aunt Jen's children. You're just the woman who left us." Jillian's camera crew was still rolling, capturing every moment of her unraveling. Her carefully constructed image of the devoted mother returning home was shattering in real time. And in that moment, watching her facade crumble, I felt no satisfaction, only relief that the truth was finally free. "Damage control now," Jillian screamed at her publicist, who was frantically typing on her phone. The party had devolved into chaos, with guests murmuring and filming on their phones, while Jillian's camera crew captured everything. "Stop recording," Valentina ordered the crew, but it was too late. The footage of Jillian's meltdown was already streaming live on her social media. "You planned this," Jillian rounded on me, mascara starting to run. "You turned them against me." "No," Nathan stepped between us. "You did that all by yourself." Charles Elliott burst through the door, waving papers. What happened? I'm getting calls from the network's lawyers. The deals are falling apart, the publicist announced, still typing. Sponsors are pulling out. The mommy bloggers are having a field day with the clips. Jillian lunged for the laptop where Nathan and Audrey had played the video. Delete it. Delete everything. Can't, Audrey said smugly. It's already been uploaded. My mom helped us create a backup channel. Mrs. Peterson stepped forward. I've sent everything to Judge Wilson, including the new footage of you threatening the children. They're my children, Jillian screamed. Really? Lily's voice cut through the chaos. She stood tall, despite her trembling hands. Then what's my favorite subject in school? What's Nathan allergic to? What song helps us sleep when we're scared? Jillian opened her mouth, then closed it. Science, strawberries, and somewhere over the rainbow, I answered quietly. The Eva Cassidy version. I was going to learn all that, Jillian protested weakly. Once we moved to where? Nathan challenged. LA, New York, wherever the best cameras are. Valentina pulled Jillian aside, speaking urgently. This is a legal disaster. The residency fraud alone. We need to withdraw the custody petition immediately. No, Jillian shoved her away. I won't let them ruin everything. I'll sue for defamation. You'll what? Oakley stepped forward, phone recording. Share more about how you plan to exploit your children for social media engagement. The party guests had formed a circle around us, many still recording. Jillian's carefully curated audience was witnessing her true colors in real time. I can explain, she tried, switching to her camera-ready voice. This is all being taken out of context. Like this context? Audrey clicked play on another clip. Jillian discussing merchandise deals, featuring the twins' faces, planning sponsored content about their emotional reunion. Charles grabbed Jillian's arm. Stop talking. Every word makes this worse. The only thing worse, I said clearly, is that you never once considered what this would do to them. Their children, Jillian, not content creators. You're just jealous, she spat. Jealous that I'm their real mother. A real mother wouldn't sell their trauma for likes and shares, Mrs. Peterson interrupted. A real mother would have been here for the actual moments, not just the photogenic ones. The twins moved to stand beside me, their choice clear to everyone watching. Jillian's publicist approached with her phone. It's trending. Fake reunion is picking up steam. The parenting blogs are crucifying us. I'm withdrawing as your counsel, Valentina announced. And I strongly suggest you do not speak to anyone else without a lawyer present. The party dissolved into a flurry of departures. Guests hugged the twins, whispered encouragement to me, and shot disgusted looks at Jillian. Her camera crew packed up, their producer already on the phone discussing repositioning the narrative. Finally, only our small family remained, plus Oakley and Audrey. You've ruined everything, Jillian said quietly, her designer dress wrinkled, her perfect makeup streaked. No, Lily replied. We just showed the truth. You ruined things yourself. The judge will see this footage tomorrow, I added. All of it, including your reaction. Jillian gathered her purse, her movements jerky and desperate. At the door, she paused. For a moment, I saw a flicker of the sister I used to know, before ambition and social media warped her. I did love them, she whispered. In my way. Your way wasn't enough, Nathan said firmly. She left without another word, the door clicking shut behind her. Audrey broke the heavy silence. So, should we actually eat the cake now? The twins laughed, the tension breaking. But I noticed they held my hands a little tighter, pressed a little closer to my sides. Sometimes victory tastes bittersweet. The courtroom was packed, news of the viral video had spread, and even Judge Wilson seemed to be suppressing a smile as Jillian's new lawyer attempted damage control. Your Honor, my client acknowledges certain lapses in judgment, the lawyer began. Lapses? Judge Wilson raised an eyebrow. Ms. Jillian committed residential fraud, attempted to exploit minors for financial gain, and demonstrated severe emotional manipulation. Those aren't lapses, counselor. Those are crimes. Jillian sat alone at her table. Charles had withdrawn as counsel. Valentina had disappeared. And her entire PR team had jumped ship after the video went viral. Her Instagram followers had plummeted from millions to thousands overnight. If I may speak? I stood, hands steady. This isn't about social media or reality shows. This is about two children who deserve stability. Proceed. Judge Wilson nodded. For 10 years, I've been their mother in every way that matters. I was there when Nathan had pneumonia at age 4, sleeping in a hospital chair for 3 nights. I helped Lily overcome her fear of swimming after she fell in a pool. I know their nightmares, their dreams, The courtroom doors burst open. A man in an expensive suit strode in. "Sorry I'm late," he announced. "Daryl Fisher, I'm the children's father." Nathan and Lily stiffened beside me. They barely recognized him. "Well," Judge Wilson said dryly, "this is unexpected, Your Honor. Where have you been for the past decade?" "Building my business," he replied smoothly. "But now I'm ready to step up. These are my biological children, after all." Objection. This came from Jillian, surprisingly. "He abandoned us. He can't just waltz in now, like you did?" Lily stood up, her voice clear and strong. "At least he's honest about abandoning us. You pretended to care just to get famous." "Lily," I whispered, trying to calm her. "No, let her speak," Judge Wilson said. "Young lady, what would you like to say?" Lily squared her shoulders. "Everyone keeps talking about biological parents and real mothers and legal rights. But where were they when I needed help with my science project? When Nathan had stage fright before his debate competition? Aunt Jen was there. She's always been there." Nathan stood too. "We don't want to be anyone's ticket to fame or redemption story. We want to stay with the person who actually loves us." Daryl scoffed. "Children don't understand legal matters." "But I do," Judge Wilson interrupted. "And I understand exactly what's happening here, Ms. Jillian. Your custody petition is denied. Furthermore, I'm referring the residency fraud matter to the DA's office." Jillian slumped into her chair. "Mr. Fisher, unless you'd like your years of unpaid child support to become a matter of public record, I suggest you exit my courtroom." He left without looking at the twins. "Now," Judge Wilson continued, "regarding permanent guardianship, Jennifer, are you prepared to become their legal guardian?" "Actually," I took a deep breath, "I'd like to petition for adoption." The twins' heads snapped up, eyes wide. "If they want that," I added quickly. "Yes," they shouted in unison, launching themselves into my arms. Objection. Jillian stood. "You can't just—" "Miss Jillian." Judge Wilson's voice was steel. "You have 2 choices. Either voluntarily terminate your parental rights, or I will involuntarily terminate them based on abandonment and attempted exploitation. Choose wisely." The fight seemed to drain from my sister. For the first time, she really looked at her children, not as props or opportunities, but as people. "They're better with you," she whispered. "They always were." She turned to the judge. "I'll sign whatever you need." Hours later, after paperwork and proceedings, we stood on the courthouse steps. Oakley waited with celebration cupcakes, and Audrey had brought congratulatory balloons. "So," Nathan said, "does this mean we can call you Mom now?" Tears pricked my eyes. "Only if you want to." "We've wanted to for years," Lily admitted. "We just didn't want to hurt Jillian's feelings." Speaking of feelings, Oakley approached with a smile. "How does it feel to be officially, legally, unquestionably, their mother?" I pulled my children, close. "It feels like finally putting a name to something that was always true." As we headed home, I caught a glimpse of Jillian getting into a taxi. Our eyes met briefly. She nodded once, a gesture of acceptance, perhaps even approval. Sometimes, I realized, losing everything is the only way to see what really matters. The adoption papers sat framed on my home office wall, right next to my law degree. I was reviewing a contract for my new consulting business when Nathan burst through the door. "Mom, you have to see this." He thrust his phone at me. Jillian's doing an interview. My sister's face filled the screen, but she looked different, softer, no designer clothes or perfect makeup. She sat in what looked like a therapist's office. I lost myself in the pursuit of fame, she was saying. I forgot what really mattered. My sister Jennifer didn't just raise my children. She taught them values I'd forgotten. Honesty, loyalty, love without conditions. Lily appeared in the doorway, homework forgotten. Is that… Shh, Nathan whispered. Listen. The video they made wasn't just about exposing me, Jillian continued. It was about showing me who I'd become. I'm not proud of it, but I'm grateful. Sometimes you need to lose everything to find yourself again. I closed the laptop I'd been working on. How do you feel about this? Weird, Lily admitted, settling onto my office couch. But good weird. Like maybe she's finally telling the truth. The doorbell rang. Nathan ran to answer it, while Lily and I followed more slowly. Oakley stood there grinning. Ready for the big news? You got it, I asked, heart racing. Signed and approved this morning. He pulled out a document. Your new law practice can officially open next week. Family law, specializing in non-traditional custody arrangements. Does this mean you'll be around more? Nathan asked Oakley, wiggling his eyebrows suggestively. I felt my cheeks flush. Oakley had been spending a lot of time at our house lately, and not just for business reasons. If your mom doesn't mind, he replied, winking at me. We don't mind, Lily said firmly. You make her smile more. The phone rang. Mrs. Peterson. Turn on Channel 7, quick. We huddled around the TV. A news anchor was covering a story about social media exploitation of children. The camera cut to Jillian, speaking at some kind of conference. I'm advocating for stricter laws protecting minors from digital exploitation, she was saying. No child should be used as content without their informed consent. I learned this lesson the hard way. She's actually doing something good, Nathan said, sounding surprised. People can change, I replied, when they want to. Speaking of change, Lily pulled something from her backpack. We made this in art class today, family portraits. The drawing showed 4 people, me, the twins, and Oakley, all holding hands. In the background, a smaller figure that looked like Jillian watched from a distance, a sad but peaceful smile on her face. Is this okay? Lily asked hesitantly. Including both of them? I hugged her tight. It's perfect. Family comes in all forms. And speaking of forms, Oakley pulled out another envelope. I have one more surprise. Remember that program you wanted to start, helping aunts and uncles raising their siblings' kids? Inside was approval for a non-profit organization, with funding secured from several family law firms. My eyes widened as I read the details. You did this. We all did, Nathan said proudly. I wrote the mission statement. I designed the logo, Lily added. And I pulled some strings with my old contacts, Oakley finished. The world needs more people like you, Jennifer. More people who step up when others step away. The doorbell rang again. This time, a delivery person held a small package. The return address made me pause. It was from Jillian. Inside was a simple silver frame containing a photo I'd never seen before. Baby twins, sleeping peacefully in my arms while I dozed in a hospital chair. On the back, Jillian had written, "You were their mother from the very beginning. I was just too blind to see it. Thank you for being what I couldn't." Are you crying, Mom? Nathan asked softly. Happy tears, I assured him. Because sometimes life gives you exactly what you need, even if it's not what you expected. Lily grabbed my hand. Can we put the photo next to the adoption papers? And maybe add Oakley's picture soon? Nathan teased. As they playfully argued about future family portraits, I looked at my little family. Chosen, unexpected, and absolutely perfect. Sometimes the best stories don't end with dramatic twists. They end with quiet truth, with healing, with love finding its rightful place. They end with home.